Hey there, I've got something really cool to share with you today. In this video, we are going to have a listen to real and raw audio from a recent birth with a doula client of mine. Now we're going to hear how this mama uses the powerful tool of vocalization to really manage her contractions, all the way from when we get to the birth center until she says, That's right, we're going to listen to pieces of the final 2 hours of her labor up until she says the head's out. Now, vocalization, it is one of my all-time favorite strategies that I think everyone should have ready to go in their birth toolbox, which is why I'm so glad that you're here today. Now, the mama who we're featuring in this video, she gives birth at a birth center and she has an unmedicated birth. And the thing about vocalization that's really exciting to me is that it can be used no matter what type of birth you're planning. So if you're not planning unmedicated birth center birth, that's okay because this tool can still be used. Now, in addition to this little listen into a real life birth experience, you'll also be getting some practical tips on how you can use vocalization and put it as a tool for your birth toolbox too. We're going to listen to 6 clips today, and the first one, it takes place right after we arrived at the birth center. So this clip takes place just 2 hours prior to the actual birth. Now this mama, she didn't have a cervical exam, which is pretty common at birth centers, but what that means is we don't know exactly what stage of labor she is in this clip. But my guess would be that she's probably in active labor and probably quickly entering that transition phase, which is the last 2 centimeters of opening of the cervix. Let's listen. So this next clip we're going to listen to is from 1 hour and 13 minutes before the birth. And then I'm going to share my most common statement that I hear from my doula clients and my childbirth education students when I start teaching them about vocalization and labor. So many people find that hearing these real sounds from birth makes them a little bit uncomfortable. And if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. That's pretty common. We're not used to hearing someone kind of moan through pain, right? But I've been a doula for over 20 years and I've witnessed over 300 births. So this is very normal to me. When I teach vocalization, I often have clients that say, I don't think I'm going to use that in labor. Or sometimes they're shy if we're in person in a class, just kind of practicing those noises and making noises like that. And they often think that they don't really think they're going to be using that in labor. But the crazy thing is, the opposite is true. Nearly all of my clients, or maybe even all of my clients, use vocalization at some point in labor. So this is including even clients who are planning on getting an epidural because it's such a powerful tool. Now let's listen to another clip and then let's talk about how to use vocalization. So this clip is from 36 minutes before the birth. And one great thing about vocalization that you'll probably hear in this clip is how you can really extend your exhale. So instead of just a shorter exhale of breath, when you make a noise, that vocalization, you can really make it go longer. So listen for that in this clip. By now, you've probably noticed that vocalization is usually a low tone, a deep tone as you exhale. So when you keep your tones low, you can really get on top of the pain than if you used a higher pitch. That higher pitch tones are like screams. They really create tension in the shoulders and the throat and shoulders. So, that doesn't sound super on top of pain, right? But do this with me, okay? Make a big audible sigh. Let's do it one more time. These are sounds that can be used in vocalization, like the sounds that you would normally make if you made a big sigh. So those low ahs or ohs, they work really well. So in addition to just that feeling of helping to manage pain, vocalization also does something that I call gives your mind a job. Your mind, when you're experiencing pain, it often kind of goes down a negative rabbit hole. It's thinking of things like, how long is this contraction? Or why is this hurting so much? Or when is this going to be over? Or how long have I been at it? It just kind of keeps going and going. So instead, when you're using vocalization, your brain is thinking, make good ahs, make good low ohs. So it's giving it a task. And that really helps. Okay, let's listen to another clip. We are now less than 30 minutes away from birth. This is at 24 minutes from birth, and you'll notice quite a difference in this one. She is likely feeling some intense pressure and probably an urge to push with this clip. So now that we've covered how to use vocalization, let's discuss when. So most people bring in vocalization as an extra tool for coping when labor becomes challenging. It's not your first go-to tool in your toolbox. You're likely going to use things like movement, changing positions, breathing before you get to vocalization. And many mamas just start vocalizing on their own. It just kind of feels natural and just comes to them. But partners can suggest this as well. So talk to your partner, share this video with them so that they know how they can support you with this tool. And partners can make the sounds with you, or they can just suggest them so that you will remember when they make that sound, oh, that's something you can do. So I do this as a doula. If I see my client is struggling with a contraction where it's time to kind of add another layer of coping, I'll just say, oh, during that exhale. And that's usually enough to remind them of this tool and they start trying it too. Now, sometimes you might like someone to vocalize with you. So your doula or your partner could make those sounds along with you. Just tell them, please make the sounds. This is helpful. And maybe it's for one contraction, maybe it's the whole contraction, but it's a really great tool to layer, not as a beginning, but as a layer. Okay, we're getting close to the birth now. We only have 2 audio clips to go. Here is a clip from 15 minutes before the birth. that is one strong mama, right? Did you notice how she's changing up her sounds a little bit? This is probably because she is feeling an urge to push, or she is possibly pushing there as well. We don't know exactly. This birth is very hands-off, and she is pushing with her urge. Okay, let's listen to my final clip now, which is in the final 3 minutes before the baby is born. This mama is using vocalization as she's following those urges to push, and you can really hear it in this clip. There you go. After that clip, she pushed for about 2 more contractions. The midwife was right there next to the birth pool, and that's when we heard, "Oh, head's out." Yep, baby's head was out. And following after was baby's shoulders and body. Her partner and the midwife lifted the baby out of the water and onto her chest. It was an absolutely beautiful birth and such a lovely example of the power of vocalization in labor. Now, I hope that you will put this tool in your birth toolbox. And if you'd like to learn about more tools for labor, check out the links below the video about how you can work with me, because I would love to help you continue to be prepared for your big day. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.